What's going on, you guys? This is Chris6 here. I am standing outside, as you can tell. I have the sunset behind me. I just got finished with Smackdown. Now, today wasn't as productive as, per se, the last two Mondays have been. But we started today's episode off with a fatal four-way between Cesaro, Alberto Del Rio, Sheamus, and Apollo Crews. Now, this match was a pretty decent match, but, I mean, to me it wasn't as significant, because today being a Smackdown night, not being a live taping, or being a taping and not a live event like it will be on the 19th, I figured there wouldn't be any title changes today. But this was for the United States Championship. This was for a shot at it against Rusev tonight. And the winner that you had was Cesaro out of the Fatal 4-Way. And right at the end, Alberto Del Rio attacks him, jumps on his ribs, and after he does that, the ref pulls him backstage, and Rusev makes his appearance. And he challenges Cesaro for the championship right then and there. Now, this match that we had against Rusev and Cesaro, it was okay, but Rusev ended up winning by applying the accolade. And then we had a match against Dana Brooke versus Billie Kay. Now, this is Billie Kay's first SmackDown appearance. She debuted on there tonight, and the match was decent. I'm not really a Dana Brooke fan, but it was a very good match. It's nice seeing some new talent coming in, but Dana Brooke ends up beating Billie Kay and takes the win tonight. Being that The Miz is back now from the filming of the Marine 5 Battleground, he got to finally have a Miz TV episode tonight on SmackDown, and it was pretty decent. Dean Ambrose had come out, eating a Cuban sandwich, and he really upset The Miz, interrupting him and everything else. He didn't even get a chance to announce him out there. And The Miz, at one point, ends up taking his suit jacket off. And Dean Ambrose says, I see how this is going to be. He reaches over after setting his sandwich down, grabs The Miz's brand new white dress coat, suit coat, whatever you want to call it, and he wipes his mouth all over that white coat and then picks his teeth with it and sets it back down. Maurice grabs the coat, and The Miz ends up taking it and throwing it on top of Dean Ambrose's head and kicks him, and is setting up for tonight's main event with The Miz versus Dean Ambrose. We also had a match against Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman. They were fighting against Miami's local jobbers. And I like that WWE is starting to do that, bringing in local talent and letting them have a chance at wrestling, getting their names out there. Granted, you know, there's some nobodies that we've never heard of. It's nice that they're promoting them and getting them notarized in the wrestling community. But Braun Strowman and Eric Rowan end up taking the win on this one against the local jobbers from Miami. Now, the next match that we had was one I was anticipating but not anticipating. It was a match against Sasha Banks and Summer Rae. Now, I'm not really a Summer Rae fan, but I am a Sasha Banks fan, so anything with her I'm always looking forward to. But during the match, Sasha Banks ended up taking the win with the Banks statement. And that leaves us with the main event, and the main event was Dean Ambrose versus The Miz. From the heat earlier from Miz TV, Dean Ambrose ended up taking the win on this one. And before I let you go, I've got a couple things that I had been reading on. One of them being that they're discussing about Randy Orton making his appearance back in wrestling, his debut after his shoulder injury, sometime before SummerSlam, if not during SummerSlam. So it's going to be nice to see RKO back there in WWE, part of you know, the rest of the staff, and you know, doing some more matches, because he hasn't been there in a while. I also read that for some reason Jerry the King Lawler ended up getting arrested. Didn't get to see much detail about that, but I did see that he got arrested. I also read that the Undertaker, the reason why we haven't seen any Undertaker lately since the WrestleMania match 32 with Shane McMahon is, I guess, according to what he said, is his contract, he only has to wrestle one time every year now because of just the way he's got his contract set up. He's already wrestled his one time this year, and I guess according to what they said is the match that happened with Shane O'Mac and him, he really, really didn't like how the match ended, and he didn't like how they had done it. So from there, it just upset him. He's not even returning Vince's calls. He seems like he's kind of done now, but I'm sure that won't be the last that we see of The Undertaker. I'm sure he'll be back here soon. And the other thing that I had read here recently is about the Roman Reigns and his 30-day suspension, him breaking his wellness contract with the WWE. And first off, from what I had heard and read, is that Vince McMahon had already known that he had broke that, and he violated his wellness plan. And he wasn't going to do anything about it, but I guess somebody ended up catching wind about it, reported about it, and that is why they ended up having to make it go public. And he ended up suspending him. He had to punish him because the fact is his fans end up finding out that he ended up violating his wellness plan. So there wouldn't have been anything done with him if it wouldn't have been for that. Now, Vince is saying that he's wanting to try to come up with a storyline, you know, to get the fans behind Roman again. I really don't see that happening. I think he's done messed himself up with that. The other thing that I had read is what he ended up testing dirty for was amphetamines. Now, that don't mean that he was taking methamphetamines. He could have been taking ADHD medication. He also could have been something that he was taking, like a pre-workout regimen that he takes, a pill of some kind for his workout. Now, that's not meaning he was on steroids either. You know, that just anything like creatine, stuff like that, it could have the amphetamines in it, and it could have tested dirty for that. Now, you know, I'm sure Roman probably told them what he had taken. He didn't have a prescription for it, according to what they said. But, you know, the big thing is you shouldn't be taking that stuff. I mean, you're a role model for children. You're a role model for other people. You don't need to be testing dirty for stuff like that. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, the God's honest truth is if you're a sports entertainer like that, build naturally, please. I mean, really, you're going to end up killing yourselves if you don't. Don't get into that. Don't start taking pills. If you're wanting to get into building up bodybuilding and everything, do it naturally. It may take a little longer. You may not be the next John Cena, but I mean, hell, it's safer. It's a lot healthier. Really need to build naturally. And, I mean, for WWE, for Vince McMahon to not want to reprimand him and punish him for the violation originally, wanting to keep it hush-hush, that to me shows where Vince McMahon is at right now. We don't need another repeat from the 90s. Come on, McMahon. You really need to start punishing these guys. I mean, I know Roman right now was your face for WWE, but just because he's the face don't mean he's any better than anybody else. I mean, if the President of the United States got in trouble for drugs, I mean, we would all know it. It wouldn't be a hush-hush situation. So, that's just my thoughts and opinions on that. Alright, I'll be back at you guys with another wrestling video on Monday. Be prepared because we are getting closer and closer to Battleground. I will be covering Battleground, letting you guys know the results of that. Plus also, we've got the 19th is coming up pretty quick, and we'll be having the draft. I might be doing a mock draft to see how close I get to where these guys are going to be going, what they're going to be a part of, what brand. But I'll probably be doing a video of that before the 19th, so expect one of those. And I'd also like to give a shout out to my buddy Hayden Huffman. Go check him out. I'll drop his link down in the description and all that, but subscribe to him and everything. He does reviews also like this. He does gaming, music. Go check him out. Pretty cool dude. Me and him's been talking here recently. But yeah, follow me on Facebook, Chris Wilson, Chris6, and like, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Like I said, you're cheating yourself if you don't. You'll get notified when these videos are posted. So, like, subscribe, favorite, follow me on here on Facebook, and that'll be it. I'm out.